presented by EA Sports and the PGA Tour. Home to the Devil's Cauldron Volcano, welcome to Treasure Island, located in the South Pacific Ocean. Ahoy! I'm Rich Lerner, alongside my friend and colleague, we call him the Dark Pirate. He's from New Zealand, Frank Nobilo. Ready to call all the action out here today on this hard-to-find, mysterious course. Good luck finding this in your hometown. Some are here, Frank, just for the lure of the buried treasure. But I can't wait to see what this course brings to the table. What can you tell us about Devil's Cauldron Volcano?
Rich, the first thing that you notice are the different flag sticks out there. The skull and crossbones are there for all to see. And you're right about the treasure. It's there to be found. And you don't always have to take the direct route. But get off the ship, find some dry land, keep away from the water, and you'll be more than rewarded. But also be very, very wary. The bounty's not for everyone. So grab your 6-iron and don't walk the plank. Oh, if this is up, it's good.
Now from a good position in the fairway, his second shot. Frank, looks like he came over just a little bit.
Yeah, that one wasn't pretty, but it's still gonna get away with it.
Regarded as a very accurate player, that shot says it all. Getting set now over the putt. That's not how you picture it, Frank, when you step on that first tee.
No, you'd like to go back to that first tee right now and start again.
Just a couple of feet. And so just getting started, even par so far.
Rich, they're trying to ransack it. That ball's heading our way.
Is that a golf shot or a cannonball?
Duck!
Look out! should be pretty good right there. On the safe side.
It was almost like that's what he wanted to do, but why would you want it to run over the back?
Second shot coming out of the rough here. Nice approach shot. He'll be happy with that. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. That's a par, and that keeps the scorecard clean, still even for the round. Well, Frank, on this hole, the play obviously is to the left, but not too far left.
Too far left and you find the water. You'll find a water grave down there, but you're right. Skinny fairway down that left side. This old Captain Hook does bend to the right. And good tee shot, you just might be able to reach this par 5 and 2.
Funny that a hole called Captain Hook would bend to the right. Frank, any of the holes at Treasure Island remind you of anything on the PGA Tour?
There's a feeling, actually, on some of these holes, and the feeling's very reminiscent to standing on the 17th hole at TPC Sawgrass, the Island Green.
That appeared to be a good strike right there, Frank.
Oh, good. It's just towering. Look at that hanging in the sky.
Well, that is a really good tee shot right there, Frank.
I think that tipped the 300-yard mark. Well, with a good shot here, Rich, I tell you, this eagle on the cards, hole very reachable from where he is.
Don't get many opportunities like this. This is a good place to take advantage. Well, this one is offline just a bit. Look out. You know, that one is going to end up in the rough.
Well, Mr. Ball does not meet Mr. Fairway. It's off, rough.
And this attempt will be from about 130 yards.
this looks like it's going to find the target.
On the green, and a chance for birdie. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read.
When you consider the length of that putt, it was a good putt. It's no snack though.
Just hammered that par putt, Frank.
Well, I don't know what he was thinking or what was going through his mind right there, but he better wake up in a hurry, because if this one doesn't go in, that score's going to rack up very quickly.
Just a shade over par, +1. Well, Frank, as if this tee shot wasn't hard enough, look what's in the distance, just to throw a little scare into the player.
Devil's Cauldron, that's the volcano in the distance, but it's also a good line there, Rich. This is a really narrow fairway that's anything other than straight. So your tee shot, you really have to imagine where that ball's going to land. Which part of the fairway is it going to land on?
You really need to be on your game here at Treasure Island. Oh, this looks good.
Certainly is.
Nicely played shot, about 310 yards down the fairway. Frank, these days golfers are training like high-level athletes from other sports. Rory McIlroy, for example, has been using a guy by the name of Steve McGregor, who happened to be the trainer for the New York Knicks of the NBA.
And part of his training now is high altitude. The majority of the medal holders, for example, in the Olympics, or medal winners in the Olympics, actually use high altitude training. You know, you can develop more red blood cells in a shorter period of time. But, you know, golf, we've had so many different types of training from the athlete side. But you go back to the old days of Henry Cotton beating an old tire. Vijay Singh picked up on that. Or even the rhythm of Sam Snead. He used to count in the rhythm. It was 1, 2, 3. It was 1 at the top of the swing, 2 at impact, and 3 at the follow-through. All those things are still very valid today.
Well, that's how you play the game right there. Knock it on the green and give yourself a good look at birdie.
Really. This is an awkward length.
Well, that's how you keep a round going. Make putts just like that. Well, Frank, this hole really the Pirates at their very best in terms of design. I love what they did here.
Well, it's one hole you don't want to scull your tee shot. A little memento down there on the right side, that enormous skull that sits up on the hill. Very short par 4, nearly reachable for the long hitters, but Rich, I got to hand it to the architects here. Some marvelous architectural features here. The shape of the green, for example, is, well, I would say skull and crossbones. But I know you've done your pirate research. What do they normally call?
They call this the Jolly Roger.
But also the bunkers. Now, these aren't just normal bunkers. These are man-made.
Well, remember, the Pirates were out here, they're not trying to shoot par. They're out here looking for some gold. They were trying to dig up some gold, and that's what they left behind is those bunkers. You know, normally you see bunkers look so nice, they're well raked and manicured. Not here.
I'm loving that balance.
Paying attention like a little kid at school, Frank. That baby's sitting up.
Sitting up. It's got the best view as well. You don't even need binoculars from where that ball is.
Second shot. Good look at the green. Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot.
Not too bad. It's about 23 feet away.
He didn't hit the flagstick, but he still has a chance. Frank, this would be a nice way to jumpstart the round.
Yeah, his momentum can quickly go in the right direction if he makes this.
What a beautiful roll right there. Dead center. Frank, hopefully top of your game and top of the world from this point at the 6th.
Huge elevation here, Rich, so obviously that tee shot is going to go that much further off the elevation, and that's really the goal. Tee it high, let it fly a little, keep it left of the needle top mountain on that left side, and really you won't have much left on this fairly short par 4.
That was like Usain Bolt, Frank, right through the tape.
Yeah, that first step, that was never going to stop.
Second shot coming out of the rough here. Frank, at this, the highest level of the game, the margins are so razor thin between winning and losing. It becomes about not wasting shots, and I think that's why players really enjoy stroke play.
I think you hit the nail on the head, Rich. That's why the best players, they want every shot to count, and the best format of golf that requires that is stroke play. In match play, you can get away with a big number. In stroke play, they want it to be a body of work. Every single shot adding to the score.
Collects another birdie with that stroke and goes to 2 under. Here's the second par 5 on the front 9. It's the 7th. Frank, what's the strategy here? What a hole.
I think when you stand on this tee, you really have to accept the fact that it's going to take you 3 shots to get here, no matter how good you are. Not really worth the go, because you'd have to hit some sort of monumental second shot that got up very, very quickly. And chances are you won't get a flat lie on this fairway. It is anything other than straight and anything other than level.
Good tee shot, good lie, and now a good chance to take advantage here on this hole. Setting up for another approach, our featured golfer has continued that excellent play from earlier in the round.
Indeed, there's no better feeling in the world than when you know you're firing on all cylinders. Hitting fairways, second shot's just going straight at the flag. Right now, everything is working. Should be safely on deck.
Pure strike, good result.
And that is close.
Not a gimme, but well within his range. Putting a good round together now at 4 under. Now we are at the long par 3 8th, and this is just a spectacular looking hole, and it's kind of fun too because in this case X does mark the spot.
It does, and that's where you got to try and go. Nifty little par 3. No gold, no silver, just birdies to be had here.
Getting set for this next shot from the rough, what does the player need to be careful of here, Frank?
Well, this is where we're going to see exactly how good they are because, you know, that's not exactly the best lie, but it's sort of doable if you know what you're doing.
Solid play, heart of the green. So just a formality here. Did the job right there. Frank, what's a good pirate design without a mermaid on a hole?
You're exactly right, Rich. Rounding out the front 9 here, mermaid on the right, fairway to the left, and a shipwreck behind the green.
We moved that one out there, but he is not going to like the lie.
That moved down in the rough.
Ball sitting down here in the rough. He's digging in. Well, this one should be safely on deck here.
I mean, this skill and that was sublime.
Just good hands, coming out of the rough, able to manage the distance, and now in great position. Rolling, rolling, rolling the rock, Frank.
Oh, and yet another birdie, Rich. Beautiful stroke.
Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back.
Into the thick stuff, that's a difficult lie. Second shot from the rough. It's on the way. Every once in a while, you're reminded this is a pretty hard game.
That was evidence.
It's in the hole. Just a sensational shot right there. Frank, to me, this is the ultimate test of a gamer's ability. A par 5 like this, right in the middle of Buccaneer Bay with all of these choices. This is something special.
It is. Forget the fairway on the left. Forget the one next to it, even the one short of it. Look at the two on the right, because those two give you a chance to reach the par 5 with two.
Frank, did you hear the sound of that coming off the club face?
It was like a cannon, long and straight.
That's how you do it.
Oh, that had some meat behind it.
A good 200 yards away from a good lie in the fairway. That had to really hurt, Frank, because it looked good all the way.
Well, this will test his mettle.
Has to be feeling good right now. Looks good with 2 straight birdies and 7 under on the card. Getting set now to tee off the 12th here at Treasure Island. It's a par 4, and again, we need to make the trip across a couple more islands. Ideal position, sitting up perfectly. Setting up for an approach shot here. Frank, the handicap system in golf really is the great equalizer, isn't it?
Yeah, there's no sport like it. I can't imagine going to Wimbledon and playing, you know, sort of Djokovic or Federer, or, you know, playing NFL with Peyton Manning. But, you know, the beauty of golf, we can go out in a golf course. We decide what our handicaps are on the first tee. We decide who's going to get strokes, and then off you go and play. And you play on a level playing field.
Frank, you're in the business of analyzing golf shots.
I don't want to see that one again.
Really having a good day and a good run right here. 2 straight birdies, now 8 under. Frank, the par 5 13th here at Treasure Island. I have to say, this makes the par 5 18th famous hole at Pebble Beach look like a walk in the park.
It certainly does. All the choices here, though, Rich, at the 13th, and, well, 13 is unlucky for some. The fairway for most is always down the right, but then if you hit your tee shot, then where do you go next? You go down the left on that little sliver of land. You go further down there in the nice big patch of green grass. That leaves you an easy third shot. Perhaps maybe even try for 2 at this par 5 that measures close to 600 yards.
That was just a beautiful drive. He hit it solid and right in the middle. Second shot coming up here at the par 5. Frank, for players looking to improve their putting, what are some of the training methods they can use?
I think speed is always a good one when you get on the putting green and you just practice trying to putt inside that 3-foot circle, because in the end all sports are the same. You're trying to focus in on the destination where that ball has to be delivered, whether it's tennis inside the court or basketball inside the rim. Putting's no different. As you get further and further away from the hole, then you just make an acceptable size circle that you're trying to putt within. So pace, very important.
Right out of the center of the bat.
Did you hear that?
Frank couldn't ask for anything more.
Just the lie there, too. It is sitting up like it's teed up.
Down the hill from here, Frank probably going to go with one club less. He's knocked it on the green, but not in a great position. This is a difficult chance coming up here. Long birdie try. Might want to check the GPS on a putt this long. So a long putt there and just didn't read it quite right. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. Dropping a shot here late in the round, Frank, with that bogey at the 14th. So a tester from 4 feet. Well, it was bound to come to an end at some point. Drops just one shot after that terrific stretch of birdies. Frank, we say it so often in golf, it's a grind. This is a grind with a capital G.
Certainly is. Up, up and away as we start our climb up the hill. Par 3's not overly long, but it's going to play much longer than its real yardage because we're going up, straight up that volcano. So you better flight that tee shot properly. You know, this is not heading in the right direction.
No, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. Wouldn't say that was his best, but not bad either. On the green and with a putt. This is a really long putt. Difficult birdie opportunity. Speed wasn't bad on that long putt, but the read wasn't very good. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Partner, what do we have here at the par 4 16th?
They call it Devil's Elbow, and I guess that's because it looks like an elbow and it goes to the right. But there's no funny bone. Look, it's been taken away, so there's no laugh if you go left or find that ravine. Difficult par 4, really, because you have to be precise there, and that green cut quite away into the side of that, well, Rich, it's a volcano, and it's starting to heat up.
Always makes the hole easier, playing it from the fairway. Ready for a second shot, trying to knock it on the green. go. You can't hide the flagstick from that man.
He is just unbelievable, that never deviated offline.
Getting set now over the putt. I mean, you just don't see this too often. How about 9 birdies on the card today? What a round. Well, Frank, it is time to walk the plank here at the 17th hole.
And don't put a foot wrong if you do. There'll be no help from your parrot as you try and veer a little left on this hole that bends that way. Up and up we go, nearly to the top of the volcano.
Watch your step, matey. Into the tall cabbage. That ball is swallowed up. Second shot coming out of the rough here. Frank, why are great rivalries so important? Why do we love them?
I think because people like to sit on one side of the fence. You're either for or against a great player. And I think we see that today with Tiger Woods and Rory McIlroy. There's the McIlroy fans that think his future is so bright. There's the Woods fans that still want him to pass Jack Nicklaus's record. That's the beauty. You've got to have an opinion, and you have to have a player.
Shot now from the rough. Frank, what's he facing?
Well, the lie first and foremost. If it's sitting down, then obviously you're not going to get a very good contact. Nothing wrong with coming up a little bit short of the green. Problem is turning one mistake into another.
Well, the stats say that is a green hit in regulation, but it's not yet a par on the card. Very tough putt coming up. Needs a pair of binoculars to see the hole. That's just a poor putt right there. No other way to say it. And a drop shot, a bogey at 17. Hoping to drop only one shot, this for bogey. Good round going, -7. Frank, they dive for golf balls at 17, the Island Green TPC Sawgrass. They're not diving for balls here at 18 at Treasure Island, are they?
No, the finishing hole is a par 3. all the way across the lava, you'll find a green.
Still some work to do here at the par 3, Frank.
Yeah, you'd think there with the size of that green, this green would be an easy one to hit.
Just need to settle down, relax on this next shot after going out of bounds.
The amount of times somebody splits the fairway after hitting one out of bounds is astronomical.
This will be the third shot after being penalized for going out of bounds. Good swing, good shot yet again. On the green with about 30 feet to go. Just want to nestle this one down to within a couple of feet. That was not a very good read right there. And it's a long way to the hole from here. Never easy. That will be a 3 over on the scorecard for this hole. Time to pick up and move on. Frank, I have to say, I've been impressed by the level of golf today. Really came out with a solid game plan and executed.
And consequently, a very solid round.